All right, so we have a interesting match here: Shayna Baszler versus Laura Anderson. They start off tying up already, pretty aggressive. Uh, Laura gets her shot stuffed right away, so she didn't really set that up. So that's why Shayna didn't have any problem blocking that shot. They're tying up again. Looks like Laura is being a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little too tense, so it's allowing Shayna. Yep, Shayna was able to just get that takedown, and she looks like she's remaining calm, like the calmer of the two wrestlers. Laura trying to build that base, trying to get back to ref. Um, Shayna just relaxing, staying on top, just trying to make sure that Laura doesn't get up, and hopefully she can react to get some sort of submission when Laura tries to escape. So Shayna just being patient here, really. That's really all she has to do. She's let's see if she was thinking about maybe getting a hook in there.
Los Angeles, and James Bunn, North Carolina, I do believe.
Flattens out Laura, getting the arm there.
Couple big guys.
Yep, has the arm behind the back. Oh, but Laura was able to pop that arm out, but Shayna has wrist control of the far side arm. All right. Oh, she let go of that in exchange for the head, but that allowed Laura to get some wrist control back to kind of stuff whatever Shayna was doing.
August, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And wouldn't that be fun to see wrestling continue its growth at the Olympic level?
Baszler still on top. Okay, Laura's building up her base a little bit, so, yep, but Baszler was able to bring her back down. Getting a little bit more control there. Anderson had the potential to maybe go for a pin of her own. It's looking like Shayna's pulling that arm behind her back, pushing it up her back, and she submits. Shayna wins this match by chicken wing, really. That's usually what we call that. So winner, Shayna Baszler. This match is between Karen Jacobs and who's that? Anthony Pachek, right? we've interviewed him several times, so you should recognize him. All right, so they lock up, and pretty aggressive here. No one's too tense or anything like that. They're just seeing what can happen here. Yep, Kern's able to get that pull down there, get that super snap. All right, he's able to flatten out Anthony, but Anthony's tripoding, trying to build that base, see if he can't get back up. Kern's hanging on around the waist. So just waiting. Yep, he's able to drag Pachek back down to his knees. Let's see if Anthony's kind of hanging on to wrist control, I think. Curran now going for that wrist control, and Anthony escapes. Now he starts to build up his base. Maybe he's thinking about maybe trying to go for that knee bar. But that failed. Curran was able to break him down. Look at that wrist control, right? So using that wrist control was able to keep him broken down. Tried to get a hook in, that wasn't happening, but he's still able to dominate by controlling the wrist and the ankle there. It's very important to keep some kind of control. So right here, Curran is going for kind of a loose toe hold, and that's why Anthony's fighting back. But to his detriment, he's almost getting pinned now. So Kern's really fighting to get that pin, but Anthony's fighting just as hard. Oh, Kern is getting the double wrist lock all the way behind and putting the leg down. Oh, yep, putting that leg pressure on Anthony's pin was the nail in the coffin. So Kern defeats Anthony Pachek by double wrist lock.
Coming up, we'll see action with Kern Jacobs out of East Lansing, Michigan.
Javier Garcia versus Matt Tran. So Matt Tran is unique because he has never studied any other style of grappling besides catch wrestling. So he studies with our good friend on the East Coast, John Strickland. All right, so they're kind of feeling each other out here. And they're keeping a little bit of a distance from each other. No one's, trying to shoot in too much. Let's see if they kind of tie up to see if anybody sets anything up.
Make sure to get your commemorative Frank Gotch tournament T-shirts outside in the lobby.
All right, so they're tied up now. I think they're trying to fight for wrist control.
T-shirts only $20 again.
Matt Tran pulls out, and then so now they're kind of back to where they were, pretty neutral, keeping space between each other, moving back to the center of the mat. All right, they're kind of tying up, seeing if anybody can set up any kind of anything really. Shot attempt there from really far away, so there's no real penetration there. So yeah, Matt still kind of defended it, but yeah, no one was going anywhere really. But, all right, so they're back up to neutral. So just kind of pawing each other right now. Okay, now they're kind of tying up. All right, still trying to set something up. Matt was able to penetrate there, able to quickly get Garcia down, but he's right back up. All right, so they're kind of back to where they were again. All right. All right, still neutral, back to where they were, still pawing at each other, seeing what's going on. All right, kind of tying up. That collar tie up kind of almost, but they're still keeping a lot of distance between each other.
Got those out there in the lobby for sale. I think they're like $40. Man, I tell you what, those are nice shorts to train in, great shorts to wear.
Let's see who takes the next shot. All right, Javier. He shoots in, but it's stuffed, and Matt gets a headlock. Let's see what Matt tries to do with it here. He's still keeping it. He has it pretty well. He's able to roll him over. Let's see if he's able to capitalize on that. No, they both kind of go back up, but Matt sucks him back down. He has him in what we would call it, or at least in the United States they call it like a cow catcher, or sometimes they call it snake. In England, call it half houch. So Javier comes back a little bit more aggressive, but they break again. All right, still keeping their distance. Oh, Matt was able to get that leg. Yep. But now he's underneath. Roll Garcia over, and they break back up. Maybe they respect each other a little too much. They keep getting back up.
Don't forget, while you're here in Humboldt, you can check out the family mausoleum of the Gotch family, which is west of town.
All right, the little fake shot there from Tran. They tie back up.
Also check out the
Separate. Ooh, and Tran timed that shot perfectly. He was able to get Garcia all the way down, exposing his back a little bit to the mat. So that's why Garcia's trying to turn away to keep from getting pinned. Matt staying on top, breaking him down. So you got that wrist control, broke him down. Now he's moving up the body a little bit. Garcia is trying to build up his base again here. Tran had a little bit of the half Nelson going. Still staying on top, staying behind him, keeping that wrist control, was able to bring him over to the other side. He's trying to get a hook in, but Garcia wasn't having it. He was able to roll it back to his back, seeing if he can. Oh, now Tran gets a hook in, at least one. Yep. Looks like he's going for a guillotine, or what we call a wrestler's guillotine. Oh, but I think Javier sensed it, so he rolled the other way. But Matt's still hooked in, still on top. Matt fighting for an arm, still keeping the wrist control. Javier's trying to roll towards Tran so that he can be on top. And that's allowing the separation of Garcia's arm from his body, so which Matt is capitalizing on here. Looks like he's going to set up a double wrist lock position. Yep, he has it. Garcia trying to get out. Reaching for Tran's arm, but unable to get it. Ooh, Garcia is able to reverse and get on top here, looking to hook in. All right, staying on top there. Kind of high up there. Let's see if Tran is able to push him forward. Yep, using some head control there. And so, yeah, using the head control position, he was able to keep Javier there so that he was able to roll and get out of that back take there. And so now he's trying to drive Garcia to his back, using that half Nelson, really pushing his face, pushing his head, and yeah, he's able to roll him over by grinding his face into the mat, but his mat awareness, made him go back belly down. He's building up his base now, but Tran is still on top, still working that wrist control. So with that wrist control, was able to make Garcia roll back over, and now he's on the bottom. Matt is going for a double wrist lock now. Up, and he gets it behind his back, leg over the head, and Garcia submits. So Matt Tran wins this match. Double wrist lock. Okay, this is an interesting match here, and this is in Humboldt, Iowa, the home of Frank Gotch, and so Mark Benj, the larger of the two grapplers, he has some lineage to Farmer Burns. And I believe, I don't want to mess up the history, but I believe one of his relatives was one of Farmer Burns' students. And the taller wrestler is Will Bunn.
It's one thing we don't get enough of in this sport, are t-shirts.
All right, so they're really tying up. Both of them are pretty aggressive. Mark's actually quite aggressive there. Really trying to keep hold of Will. All right, got the double overhooks. Yeah, he's trying to set up something up, maybe like some kind of a suplex or something. Not many changes of position. And Bunn changing position. Bunn going for double wrist lock. Mark throws him over, but Bun keeps hold of that double wrist lock and is able to submit Mark there. So in this case, or in this match, will win by double wrist lock. Here's another match. They didn't fight back to back, but this is Will Bunn versus Christopher Morales. All right, so they're kind of tying up. Chris trying to make that wrist control uncomfortable. So they're tying up. They're still seeing what they can do. I think this is a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, so Bun tried to shoot in, but that wasn't happening. He really didn't change his levels that much. And Chris, even though he's somewhat tall, he's still keeping a lower stance. So Bun would have had to have really changed his, or really would have needed to lower his level much more. All right, so now they're tied back up, really fighting for that wrist control here. Bun with a 2-on-1, but Chris breaks it. They tie back up. Chris try to go for that Russian 2-on-1. Holding hands there with the collar tie. All right, let's see. And sometimes people call it mercy grips, right? They're trying to get position. Chris staying low, keeping his stance low. Bun is the more upright wrestler. All right, still driving at each other. Chris driving Bun back. Oh, and he's able to use that push to get that snap down, but Bun's back up. They're both standing. They're both back to where they were. All right, they're tying up. Seeing what, oh, Bun tried to shoot in, but it got stuffed. Now Chris has an overhook and wrist control. Bun breaks it with his leg. Oh. And Chris is able to throw him down, throw him forward. All right, Chris continuing to just drive forward. Let's see if he's able to set anything up. Still pushing Bun back. All right, they tie up again. Christopher just continues to push Bun backwards, and so Bun breaks free and kind of gets some space between them. All right, they're tying up again. They're trying to see what they can set up, what either of the wrestlers can set up, really. All right, some kind of trip attempt by Bun. Chris has double under, well, he had one overhead, and with that, he was able to get Bun all the way down into a referee's position and maintain some back control there. He's putting some pressure with his knee onto the side of the ankle of Bun. Keeping some downward pressure, trying to make things unpleasant for Bun on the bottom, so I think that's starting to build up. Bun going for double wrist lock. Chris pulls out and was able to use his weight to flatten Bun forward. So now Bun would need to build up his base, otherwise he's just going to stay flat there. He's got his arm out. I think Chris just being patient. Yep. And as he builds his base, Chris collects that arm. Gets him the chicken arm submission. Sometimes he might put shoulder lock. Either way, he submitted. And Chris Morales is the winner of this match. All right, Cody Konecki versus Anthony Pacek. They start off right away. Cody is very quick, and so he just went for it, shot in right away, but he is stuffed, and now he is struggling to get out. He's trying to sit out there. Anthony trying to pull him back.
Biography of Frank Gotch, helping educate him on the sport.
Anthony staying on top, keeping wrist control. Cody fighting from getting rolled over. So for those of you who don't know, the rules of catch wrestling are quite simple. There are 2 ways to win. You either submit your opponent or you pin them. So this is where a lot of the wrestling that you know of as wrestling, like Olympic freestyle, and those of us in the United States who do folk style wrestling or wrestling that is taught in schools and is done in our universities, that is called folk style. They both came from catch wrestling, but those styles, in order to make it safe for kids, they removed the submissions and they made very short time limits. Right, so when they were making that change, or all these rules, you can see the evolution of folk style away from catch wrestling. If you look at some of these old matches, in college, they look a little bit more like what you're seeing right now. You'll see someone kind of grind the other person down, try to control them. Our matches are 20 minutes long. Let's see, Anthony's really grinding Cody into the mat there. But Konecki's putting up a good fight. Anthony has a double wrist lock position, but it's a little bit far. It's like a little bit straight. Okay, so now Anthony's able to get his arm, so the forearm, over Cody's face. That will give him a little bit better leverage there. Yep, so Anthony's trying to get that leverage over that arm, because there we go. And so yeah, once he's able to break the grip, then he's able to get the submission. So Anthony Pacek wins by arm lock here.
And your winner is
Here we have a match between Amin from the UK versus Chris Morales from the United States. Start off reaching in, trying to get some control. Amin tries to get control of the head, gets into half pouch position, trying to pull Chris back down onto the mat. It's unsuccessful, so he tries to go around the back. Does get Chris down onto his knees, keeping some pressure on Chris's back. Chris is hanging onto her wrist, seeing if he can try to get up, but Amin sucks him back. Amin hanging on, staying on top. Just trying to fight his way under. Going for crossface there. He's trying to stand up, gets onto his feet, but Amin brings him back down. Amin switching over to the other side. Chris hanging onto the wrist. Seeing if we can find a way to scramble out. Amin applying a lot of pressure on the Achilles there. Crossface, but unable to keep control of Chris. Chris still unable to get out. Chris onto his feet. And Amin sucks him back down. Alright, Amin's getting some wrist control here, trying to pull Chris back. You see, every time Chris gets control of that wrist, it actually limits some of the techniques that Amin can do. So right now, since Amin's hands are free, he's able to attempt other techniques. So, like he's hanging on to, trying to hang on to Chris here, trying to get a hook in. He gets a hook in. Amin taking his time, getting 2-on-1 control of that arm. Chris sits out. Chris almost back onto his feet. Amin is successful in getting Chris back down onto his knees. Trying to crossface here, trying to pull him back so he can get a pin there. But Chris rolls out of it. Chris trying to do a reversal here, but Amin stays on top. Keeps control. Keeps the weight on.
Keep controlling. You know what to do.
Trying to go for a crossface there. Keeping that weight on. Trying to tire out Chris. Alright, looks like it's going for a hammer lock in, but it was almost a double wrist lock there. Not able to hang on. So Amin chooses to keep pressure on the back. So Chris is still unable to get back up onto his feet and to get out. Here he is on his feet again and gets sucked back almost instantly. Alright, Chris keeps trying to get out. Just keeps getting stifled by Amin. Amin keeping good pressure on Chris's back there. Chris tries to push out, but Amin just keeps that pressure. Looks like almost thought about trying to set up a double wrist lock. Chris gets wrist control here. Yep, Amin keeping a lot of pressure on Chris's back there. Getting that crossface going. Oop, Chris pops out. Chris trying to get a reversal, trying to get out. Amin keeps him down. Putting on the half Nelson there. Rolls him onto his back. Chris fighting it, getting that shoulder off the mat there. Getting rolled onto his back. Fighting it there. And Amin goes for the top wrist lock and gets it. Submitting Chris.
Winner, Amin, how good.